A master set. Alright, Esper Angels. So, I've played a good deal of Black-White Angels on stream before, and the appeal of blue is interesting because the Black-White Angels deck does tend to struggle a little bit against both Control and Nexus decks, and access to things like Disdainful Stroke and Negate, as well as Thief of Sanity, can potentially help push those matchups maybe towards a positive direction. So, let's go ahead and dive into some games and kind of see how things tend to play out for us. Ooh. Yeah, they'll probably argue master sets didn't affect legality, but that's like this super asterisk that's awkward and silly in my opinion. Alright, well, we don't have anything till turn 3, but we're on the play, and our curve 3, 4, 5 is really good. Johnny Boy, thanks for the Twitch Prime, I appreciate that, welcome. Start's probably pretty good against Merfolk. Is this when they cast? When you cast. Okay, so Tocatli doesn't stop Deep Root Waters. Worth noting. If we draw an untapped land next turn, the game is over. Just get to, like, Lyra, gain infinite, make a token. Wonder what they kept here. Their hand is incredibly slow. Oh, did they not play Hinterland Harbor this turn? Maybe they're missing a color. The Bio Angel deck seemed fine. I don't know. Fine. Fine is the answer. It's like most of the things in this format. It's fine. Even if we don't hit a land, we'll still have them dead on board, which is nice. Yep, I guess we just hope they don't have removal here. Or they would never fly. Wizards of the Coast can print whatever they want at whatever price they want, okay? Would never fly. Yeah, they run 4 incubation. Bio Bolas. That's actually kind of sick, huh? You can flip Bolas on 5? Oh gosh, now I want to build that. 4-color Bio Bolas. That's not one that's crossed my mind before. Grixis, Graces, yep. What are we doing here? What's the word? Biomancer's familiar. Yeah, the Bio Angels deck we're talking about is a Banshalai deck. Alright, so do they just attack, leaving themselves dead on board, or they have a 1-mana Merfolk? You'll be able to find my full thoughts on the Jund Aggro deck on my website and my YouTube channel later tonight. Alright, fish. Moment of Craving. I don't actually have a lot of cards for this matchup, but this matchup's probably not too bad if I had to venture a guess. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna board in the couple other removal spells. Like, we have a lot of creatures that block pretty meaningfully and other removal spells in our main deck. Some of the earlier iterations had Shalai. We've tried a lot of different things. I think I mulligan this on the draw against an aggro deck. The chance we just miss our third land drop and just like, we have a lot of 2-mana plays. I think I want to mulligan for one. This hand's very good. I'm going to bottom a 4th lane for now, digging for some more action. Yeah, Tocatli's definitely got relevant text in this matchup. Stops a couple of things. Does anybody recall how far do you drop back on the ladder when things restart? Do we go back down? Is it plat? Is it diamond? Is it plat 4? I feel like plat 4 sounds familiar, but I don't actually know that for sure. 2 ranks down, so plat 4. Yeah. Okay, sounds right. Yeah, that would be fine, Delbur. I would like to block. You bet they have an incubation in their hand that they wanted to use on this. Oh, you know what? I played the wrong land here. I should have played the Hallowed Fountain so I could play History next turn plus a tapped land. Thank you for the gifties, I appreciate it. That's a pretty big hit. If they have a Negate or a Spell Pierce here, I could be in trouble. I guess we just play this now. I guess this gets Disdainful Stroked. Like, guess and check which counterspell they have. Wizard's Retort. Didn't matter. Okay. Yikes. Yep. Might just be dead here. You have a Spell Pierce. Maybe I'm supposed to play a tapped land then a Tocatli this turn to play around Spell Pierce. Getting aggressive here seems appealing, though. They're going to 8 with their 1/1 unblockable in play is a little bit medium. Yeah, I think we're dead here. I mean, I know I'm saying this as we're getting dumpstered, but I feel like this deck has a pretty okay aggro matchup as is. Like, Black-White Angels tends to line up pretty well into aggro. Like, I get that our mana's a little bit worse, but I don't know if the matchup's that much worse for us. We've got Lyras, and we've got the 3-mana Angel that gains us life. We were on the draw this game, and they had a pretty good start. Yeah, the wizard retort was pretty key here too. Definitely worth noting that one. I don't know, we're not out of this game just yet. Lord, that's a good question. Lord refers to a card like Merfolk Mistbinder that gives all of your creatures of a specific type +1/+1. Yeah, we're like a Lyra or the 3-mana Angel plus a land away from being in here. Removal spell, also very good. I think we're pretty far from down and out. Yeah, I think Seraph would be busted if it could give itself lifelink. Radiant Destiny is not a Lord. Just familiarize yourself with Magic jargon. Something like Radiant Destiny is referred to as an Anthem effect, which harkens back to the card Glorious Anthem. Totos with the 12-month resub. I knight thee, Defender of the Realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. So, Lord refers specifically to things that give specific creature types a bonus, whereas things that give your entire team a bonus are referred to as Anthem effects, in terms of Magic jargon. I am doing very well, Brian. Thanks for dropping in today. Alright. We got, 2 more shots at something to either gain life or take this off the table. So I'm doing this during their upkeep because this way if they have a counterspell, they have to use the mana on their turn. If they don't have a counterspell, we've stabilized this board and are kind of racing with Seraph. If they do have a counterspell, we get 1 more draw at something meaningful. I think most of my immediate family and friends are slowly getting blunted to the reality of the fact that I'm just going to do silly things at the dictation of my job here. Between the owl costume and the hair, I don't know that much surprises people anymore. Salty Esper would be a good reanimator in Standard. I don't know that reanimator decks are really that good in Standard. It's really interesting to me that they elected to use that as a removal spell as opposed to digging for more Merfolk with it. Thanks, Brian. It's a good motto to have. The pink hair definitely makes people smile in person. That's a very good one. Alright, they don't have a removal spell. The game will be over next turn. We'll fire this up and then gain 5 and make a 4/4. Did you another incongruity? My opponent could have gotten greedy here and got me to spend my mana. I was definitely going to fire up my mana this turn. I guess that lets me draw a counterspell, but I can't hold a counterspell. I can't hold a counterspell up while doing that. That is very true. I will be easy to pick out of a crowd. I'm excited I get to wear my Tempo Storm jersey this weekend at the Nerd Rage event. Yikes. Yikes. That's a 2/4 that draws them cards. Great. Well, we had a good rip on an angel, and then they had removal into Kumena. So, that's unblockable, so we're dead. It's a close game. Get to play game 3 here on the play. Game was definitely a bit of a slog. I don't think I want to change anything else out here. I think I'm happy with how I'm set up. Squee, Goblin Nabob. Thanks for shipping your prime this way again. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Ooh. Ooh, there's Lyras in our deck, chat. Almost forgotten about my gal. Lyra don't mess around. You cannot fall out of Mythic. That is correct. That's true. I guess when every month you fall out of Mythic. The white removal tends to not be fantastic in this format. Mortify is like one of the best white removal spells. That's really a split color spell, right? I didn't attack with the Tithe because if they attack with Kumena Speaker, I'm going to double block it. I'm the control deck in this matchup. I've got 2 Lyras in my hand. I just want to stay alive at all costs. There's no reason for me to be aggressive when I handily win the long game most of the time. Especially with a hand setup like this. I'd really like to draw a land here so I can play this Vraska's Contempt. Incredibly unfortunate. Oh, Tithe Taker locked them out of drawing a card. That's so good. Who's a good little Tithe Taker? You collect all them tithes. Who's a good little Tithe Taker? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Excellent. Excellent. Dirty fish, pay your taxes. Are they just gonna, like, put a 1/1 counter on everything here? If they put a 1/1 counter on everything, I get to crack them for 14. Yeah, they can't activate Kumena with Tithe Taker and play without paying a mana. I missed that as well. That's something that in paper I'd probably miss 100% of the time. Huh. So do I mortify the Lord or the Kumena? I think I just smashed to start, right? And, like, let them figure it out? It's like, if they throw Kumena in front of one of these, I just mortify their Lord and it all falls like dominoes. Oh, yeah. Gobble, gobble. Tithe Taker is single-handedly the reason we're winning this game. That's not true. History of Benalia deserves its dues, but Tithe Taker has made it so we've choked their mana nicely. Silly merfolk. Who do you think you are? Trump? Pay your taxes. It's pretty good. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Are we gonna get prizes? Are we gonna get prizes? Did things reset yet? We're mythic 0%. Do I need to relog? Do I have to relog to get the prizes? I'm gonna try and relog real quick. These people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. No, it resets midday, I thought. No, I'm just straight up off season. Oh, it's off season. So there's just no rank now. It says off season. Yeah, it just reset. So the people who finish in the top 8 finish in the top 8. The people who finish 9th and 10th are incredibly sad and hopefully have friends taking care of them so they don't do anything silly. Yeah, my opponent is also the 0%. We are the 0%. We are the 0%. Yikes! And I'm gonna scry into some spells. Yeah, if there's MPL people that finish in the top 8, then replace 9, 10 with 10, 11, whoever. Ooh! Is this gonna be a game 1 Tocatli against Sultai? This is gonna be a game 1 Tocatli against Sultai? Rats! Rats! Why is there a search phrase can't in your deck? You're supposed to be incredibly sad about this card. You're supposed to play Wild Growth Walker there and sink into your chair. No, only constructed. I wonder if Limited's gonna play any part at all in these new things. I would not be surprised if they push to being pretty much only constructed for the arena stuff. Season just restarted for you, okay. We were like 30 seconds too early. Rats. I think they're Salty Nexus. I think Salty Nexus might be accurate. Sure, but are the bigger tournaments limited? Like, are the arena only Mythic Championships, do they involve limited? They haven't announced any of those formats yet, right? Rude. I liked my thoughts. Not a matchup where Tocatli's very good. This is a matchup where the Adantos in our sideboard will be excellent. Also a matchup where we're going to be happy that we have access to Negate and Disdainful Stroke. The rewards do stack, Danon. If you got Mythic in both, you get 5 packs from each. When I'll play Abzan Hero, if that's a deck in my deck queue, you can follow the order of my deck queue on my website. probably in a bad spot here. They've got a lot of cards. We've not gotten our rewards yet. People said they started getting rewards when we were locked in a match, though. We're probably dead at this point. Feel solidly. I guess if they take a turn here, we'll concede. If they take a turn, they're getting double Nexus activations. They're getting double Escant activations, so we'll be done. I guess I'm not killing them either next turn, so yeah, we'll just move along. I've not been super impressed with black-red aggro. It just tends to be bad aggro. Or bad red aggro in my experience playing so far. It's not a Tocatli Honor Guard matchup. This card's probably a little slow. Actually, Lyra's probably slow. This seems reasonable. Oh, Ixalan's Binding is fine. Probably better than Lyra as more interaction. Give this a go. Yeah, the fact that there are a lot of really small things you could do to Nexus to rebalance it, and I don't think that there's no point in crying about it at this point, basically. Seems like okay. We get to go like play a thing on 3, play a thing on 4. Well, I feel like if we get to untap with our threats and these cards, we should be pretty good to go. We have Mortify to deal with, an enchantment, and we have Negate to counteract more past that. Seems good. I would love a land. Thank you for asking. I don't think it's worth jamming on Resplendent Angel here in the face of a potential piece of removal, just because, I want to hold up my interaction. I'm not going to play the Adanto Vanguard here, because waiting a turn to play this still gives me the same overall clock, and it allows me to hold up Mortify and Negate on both of these turns. So, like, next turn I'm going to play my 7th land, and then I'll play Adanto Vanguard out, which allows me to still hold up Negate and Mortify. Oh, should have left Memorial to Folly up there, so that way if they Ritualist at me again, I could activate it. I don't think I need to leave up Negate on turn 2. Like, even if they Thought Erasure me, I'm still pretty okay with that. Alright, so they're dead to my flyers, right? Carnage Giant is an interesting one to bring in here. I'm not sure I board that. I want to guarantee that I'm able to play my 3-drop on 3 as well, which if I don't play Memorial to Folly on 1, I can't do that. Yeah, the new season starts this afternoon. I believe it started right now. People said they got their seasonal rewards already, so after we finish this match, we should get kicked back down. When Memorials are running, you can find the deck list on your screen, or via the exclamation point deck command in chat. Oh, this is awkward. I think I have to mulligan this. As good as this is, just like double whites with no white mana. Just can't do it. In. It'll be interesting to see with top 1000 in the mix if the amount that you move later into the season still matters, because like for instance this past season, even very late into the season, single match wins or losses would catapult you hundreds of places, and if more people are playing, the ranks will likely become more tightly packed together and there'll be less movement in there. Like this season there was only less movement at the very top. So now that there's something more meaningful for people under the very top to play for, there might be less movement. It'll be interesting to see how it ends up panning out. I have never felt there is a compelling reason to play Mardu Angels. Splashing red into Black-White Angels doesn't solve any problems that the archetype has. I think splashing blue into Black-White Angels potentially helps you solve issues with harder matchups like Nexus of Fate here. I shocked myself there because I was going to have other things to do with my mana as I went up the curve anyways. And shocking earlier can make it less obvious that I have a negate on a later turn. So for instance, let's say I drew a 2-mana spell this turn and I wanted to play a 2-drop plus hold negate up. It's less obvious that I'm holding negate up if I shock earlier. And my health total doesn't really matter in a matchup like this, so taking a little bit of a risk to conceal information later on is a valuable exchange, I think. Fairy decks exist in Modern, not in Standard. See, like, you could argue I could have shocked last turn, too, because now I'm shocking for this and it screams Counterspell. So if I would have shocked the Hallowed Fountain last turn, this turn it wouldn't be as obvious that I have a Counterspell. Voyez, thank you for the 12 months. I appreciate the entire year of support. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I knifed you up. Why isn't my mod command working? Whew. Welcome to the Night's Voyage. Thanks for the support. Would like to draw a land here so I can binding this plus still hold the gate. Duress is a fine secondary. Ritual Assault. Yep, let's get that one out of there. No, thank you. Binding on Krasis is great because not only does it prevent them from playing future Krasis, but should they kill the binding, the Krasis goes to the bin as opposed to coming back into play. Yeah, claim rewards. Yeah, look at all of our booster packs. Do you think we open any actual mythics that I need? It is basically 100 gems. I got 100 gems. I guess it works towards my wild cards too. Oh, we hit a mythic. I think that's probably my 4th worm. I think I've played 3 worms before. Ooh, wild card. Look at that. That's a War of the Spark rare. That's a War of the Spark rare. These packs were lit. These packs were lit, chat. Woo! I should open all my packs on stream. Get that streamer lucky over 2K viewers. Those were wonderful. Look at that. Look at that. Two mythics, rare wild card. Yeah, so for those who aren't in the know, they fixed the 5th card problem recently. So I have 4 of every rare in this set. So if I would open a rare that's not a wild card, it gives you a 20 gem refund instead. The sand seems fine. Little clunky. I think I lead on the Guildgate on 1, so this way if I draw a swamp, I can play History of Benalia. Right, Scary Terry. History of Benalia, not fantastic in a matchup like this, but not that big of a deal either. Oh, not mono blue. Drakes. Okay. Huh. So Drakes, I think, makes me less inclined to jam Resplendent Angel here and more inclined to Mortify this turn. It's weird that my icon's still showing Mythic. Nice, Rex. Give him a good shuffle in. Crash Through implies that they have Phoenixes in their deck. Phoenix plus Terramander is interesting. It could be a Gutters type deck, that's true. Yeah, the double Lyra should be pretty good. If they a lot of I should have played Lyra pre-combat. She gives lifelink. I'm aware this is a post-combat Lyra of shame. So obviously this should have been pre-combat, and they'd be 1 lower and I'd be 4 higher. Naturally. We wouldn't have gotten an angel because it doesn't trigger unless you gain 5 or more, but that's a pretty big mistake for me. They don't have a bacon bolt here. This game's going to be pretty over. It is true. It's better than the post-combat. Man drop of shame. Wait, what? Hey, CBC Spartans, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I attacked before I mortified here, because if they have a dive down and they use dive down to protect this, they then won't they have dive down to protect this, they'd be able to block my Lyra for free because it would have 7 toughness. So attacking first is important there to play around dive down. And if they blocked and tried to dive down, I would then kill it in response. I wouldn't gain life that way, but my Lyra would live. My opponent and I both had some little bit of fast and loose plays there. Drakes. Ixalan's Binding seems good here. Tocatli Honor Guard is notably not very useful. Consecrate seems fine. I think Eldest Reborn's probably okay too in case they bring in Niv Mizzet. I don't think I want Duress in this matchup. Is Thief of Sanity worth playing here? Is a real question. Or do I just want to be like Black-White Angels? Thief of Sanity's probably fine. Thief versus... Maybe Adanto's just better. Just because he like trucks right on in. I'm gonna try Adanto. He's better against the red removal. So it's not even just about Thief dying to Doomblade, so much as it's like Thief turns on removal that's otherwise not very good against us, is what it comes down to. Time to begin the kill other things portion of the game. I let on Tithe Taker rather than Adanto Vanguard, because Tithe Taker makes their cards like Dive Down and Spell Pierce worse against us. It makes them cost more on our turn. I'm going to go ahead and shock here and play Vraska's Contempt, because I would like to be resource efficient as possible this turn. This deck's been okay so far. I don't know if the blues really cost us. The negates were good. The negates definitely won us a game. Super punished for my decision to use Vraska's Contempt. Was definitely not playing around to rail post board.
Feels broken.
If they have a Lava Coil here, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, and they have a lot of shots at Lava Coil, so kind of getting punished for my sequencing of my removal spells. What I think is the best deck in Standard, probably Mono Blue. It's possible that on the back of, like, Adanto and History we can maybe get here. But this is really good for us. I get to Mortify this and take Ral off the table. I'm going to go ahead and be resource efficient and consume this here. Would be impossible without account sharing. Well, we'll never know. Will I have grind days or sessions for the top 1,000? Nah, probably not. I think we'll probably get into and maintain the top 1,000 just like by playing decks that aren't as competitive off the ladder. And at the end of the day, even if we don't hit top 1,000, I'm not really that worried about it. Magic pays my bills as is. I don't really need to qualify for a Mythic Championship. So they can have a shock here to kill my Tithe Taker and keep Rail alive. Yeah, I know I could use the attack with all button. Gives me a good opportunity to stick history without worrying about a spell pierce, which is nice. Diversify my threats a little bit here. Need to take these planeswalkers off the table before I can worry about killing them, I think.
Time to choose. Always so exciting.
Saffron Olive just tweeted, as you see screenshots of people in the top 8, remember Wizards told us specifically that what the game tells you your rank is doesn't actually mean anything. Yikes. Yikes. Is that true? That's gotta be true. On This Week with Watsy. Saffron Olive moved to an 8 on the Hoagland scale by Watsy Corporate. It's funny because it's sad. I think we're dead here. I think we're probably dead here. The fact that I chose to use my Contempt early instead of a Mortify ended up coming back to bite us pretty supremely this game. Ended up having 2 Rals. We're just getting buried here. Yeah, and I'm sure your thing isn't accurate is definitely there to keep undesirables out. It's like they could very easily just have someone up there in the top that they don't like and just like. I think I'm happy with what I did. I don't think I want counter spells in this matchup. I think Binding, Contempt, Reborn are all good. I definitely just I didn't have Ral on my mind when we were playing, so I prioritized my removal spells in the wrong order. So this game, I'll be thinking about Ral when I'm choosing like Contempt versus something else. His hand doesn't have any removal spells in it, but it's like a little bit aggressive. You could maybe argue that maybe I'm supposed to mulligan this because it has Teferi but doesn't have blue mana and it has 4 lands. No, you drop back down to Platinum 4 after the ladder resets. Rude. That is a phenomenal draw. Super happy to have burned a Lava Coil out of their hand already. Yeah, I think account sharing is far more likely than win trading. Win trading is probably incredibly unlikely. All right, something's getting spell pierced at some point this game anyways, so it might as well be this. This does get around dive down though, which is nice. You could maybe argue that with Resplendent Angel in play, I should wait on the consume because it could maybe make me a 4/4 later, but I kind of just want to use my mana this turn. Hopefully I draw another land next turn so that I can start jamming my 5-drops down their throat. Alright, well at least that's castable, so if they tap out for a threat, I get to kill it right away. I have no idea, Be Rich. It's an interesting question. That's always, I always would love when the different pro players would post pictures of them winning like moto events. God, to post Lyra, I'm talking at the same time when like pros would post pictures of them like qualifying for the mocks on their laptop in a room with like 6 other platinum pros. Just like, yep, yeah, I'm sure this was an individual tournament. Completely bet this was an individual tournament. Actually, we'll do this and this game is over. Oh, yeah. Moving on up. It's actually probably a pretty good deck to start the ladder season off with, because this deck's super reasonable. I'll just plow right on through. This hand's great. Please be playing Sultai. Please be playing Sultai. Please be playing Sultai. Please be playing Sultai. That's fine. A 1/3 for 2 is still very good against Jackal Pup deck. Still very things that are good. 1/3s for 2. Still hoses elephant, she says. It does have text there, you're not wrong. Okay. It feels pretty reasonable, Vix. We haven't, we beat a Nexus deck that we played against, which felt pretty good. And that's always a hard matchup for Black-White Angels. So, like, beating a hard matchup with a little bit of technology seems reasonable. End step, Thief of Sanity. Drawing a land there is very good, because we're gonna draw spells off of their deck here, most likely. To me, ascend, ascend. Easiest blocks of my life. Just keep putting Dorkers into play here. Why not put the Angel into play there? Because there's no guarantee I hit a land this turn. I wanted to put more blockers out like that so I could force them to pay life for the Adanto Vanguards. When you attack, transform this. No, this is not, it's not like a Planeswalker. It's not like the Planeswalker flip cards that exile themselves or return themselves to play. The reason why the Planeswalkers do that is because you don't want to lose themselves via state-based actions. Nice elephant. Don't you want elephant? Don't you want elephant? Don't you want elephant? Don't you want elephant? Got him. Get him. Got him. Whoop. Excellent. GG. Yeah, maybe this build does want a couple more anti-aggro things in the board. It's definitely a little bit light. Just two moments. I guess the main deck's pretty good. Let's see how this feels post board. Thief is really good against 1-drops. You're not wrong. Like, that felt good, like, but we were on the play and they stumbled, so, like, I'd expect for us to win there, right? Like, we were on the play with a Tocatli, we were on the play with a good curve, and they stumbled. Oh, we're gonna get run over. Let's draw a 2-drop. 2 shots and a 2-drop. 3, 4, 5 is probably too... Yeah, buddy! Alright, let's do it! Gosh, we're so good at this game. We're so good at Magic. We're so good at Magic. It's a straight, right? I think I play this because it soaks up more damage. Our lands are hurting us here. That is something worth noting. We're gonna take 4 damage this game that we likely wouldn't have taken if we were playing straight black-white angels. And like, those are the things we want to be thinking about, right? Like, how is our splash meaningfully impacting what we're doing here? Allow me to balance the scales. The scales of justice. So do I shock Lyra, or do I just play Resplendent Angel? I think I'm supposed to shock Lyra. Hey, Zero, thanks for the biddies, I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. Huh. To Lyra or not to Lyra? That is the question. The Resplendent Angel eats it. The Resplendent Angel eats it to Baffling End, whereas Lyra does not. New bitty bitch! Yeah, one bit is 1 penny, so 3,000 bits is $30. Thank you for the support, Zero. I'll get that added tonight after I'm done. Well, I mean, one Adanto attack really isn't that big of a deal. I have like 2 blockers in play, and like they're at 10, right? So like everything I throw in front of Adanto is like meaningful here. Because I wanted to be mana efficient, I wanted to get better blockers into play. I valued being mana efficient more than I valued the 2 life. Also, I'd kind of rather they exile this first versus this. This gets exiled by more of the removal because they have Baffling End, whereas this only gets exiled by Conclave Tribunal. Playing this out first also opens it up so they burn their first Conclave Tribunal before I play the Lyra, which gives me a better chance to have Lyra stick. That land, unfortunately, does not enable double Resplendent Angel, because I do not have quad white. Alright, so we're done here. Untapping with Lyra against aggro decks. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. On the ground. Hey, hey. Do 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 do. Beep 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 do. Do 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 do. Please be Sultai! Please be Sultai! Please be Sultai! Please be Sultai! One of these days, we're gonna play turn 2 Tocatli on the play, and they're gonna play a Wild Growth Walker and be very sad. Probably fine. Having real removal in the mirror match against normal mono blue tempo is probably a leg up for the white build, but Tempest Shin is also better than Sphinx there, so it's hard to say for sure. My body is ready to Clarion. Don't play me a Kansas song. Don't play me a Kansas song. Don't do it. Have a heart. Don't do it. Clarion, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are gone. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Grief! Checking in for the 2nd month in a row. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate it. I like the white aggro deck in this format. It's very, very reasonable. Mono blue's okay. I'm not a huge fan of the play patterns in that deck. I like having real removal in my tempo decks. Alright, well, we get to double spell here. If we draw an untapped land next turn, we can activate Resplendent Angel, which is nice. Yeah, I have to imagine this deck's probably not good against Jeskai control. Although the fact that we have blue cards probably makes us better than just typical black-white. Oh, just Angel with the Memorial? Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair, Zach. Yeah, I like that suggestion. It's worse against Teferi, though. It is worse against Teferi, because they just get to tuck her in. We're into garbage time here, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and move along. Yeah, we've played Blue-Black Pirates a bunch before. You can find that on my website. We've also played Esper Pirates. Tons of great things like that in the format. If you've thought of it, there's probably a good chance we played it on this stream at some point. We play a lot of different things here. Is Azcanta important enough that I want to leave in a bunch of Mortifies? I don't think it is. And I have, like, Binding still to tag it on occasion, too, and some discard. I think I'm happy with this. I think this seems reasonable. Well, I mean, if I would have taken the other line, they would have tucked the Angel. You probably play Niv. Yeah, I guess that's fair. That makes leaving some Mortifies in better. This hand's very good. You get to just go like Taker into history, hold up Negate on the play. Pimped Up Monk, thank you for the 23 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate that. Perfect. Because even if they Clarion me on 3, I'll still have 3 power when I untap, basically, because of the history. Would I ever consider going back to a 9 to 5? Nah, I plan to ride this. I plan to ride this puppy until it stops paying my bills. I'll be here as long as people want to keep me here. I plan to stay here. I enjoy both playing Magic and not leaving my house every day. He like top 1. Yeah, something like that, Clacker. ZVN, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, the job that I work here is kind of like a 9 to 5. Only it's like an 8 to 6. 8 to 8 some days. You know, it depends. Scale of 1 to dead. How are you feeling over there? I think I just let this resolve, right? I am not a coffee drinker. Exile a knight. Yep. Resolves. They need Clarion plus a counterspell here. Do they have a negate for my negate? Brutal. Woof.
I know my responsibility. You need to slow down.
The saddest of Teferi activations. Cooking show host.
Matter of time.
No. I don't really know my way around the kitchen. Christy and I are filthy millennials. We eat out a lot. Phil Rickner, thanks for the 7-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around here. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon, by the way. Over 2,000 people again. It's wild that Magic just gets up to that high every single day. So thanks for being a part and thanks for dropping in.
I'm known for my excellent timing. You need to take time out.
Arena's done a lot of very good for Magic, that's for sure. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and mortify their Azcanta here. Just so they can't flip it and find a Clarion, because that's their out here is Clarion, right? And it's really just kind of funny in a way, because like when I was streaming, because I've been streaming Magic full time for a long time, right? And I was kind of hitting that peak of what Magic Online can do. And I remember talking to my wife about it being important to make time to stream Artifact, because Artifact could have been the next big thing, right? Like, there are a bunch of people that thought that that was gonna be huge. And like, so like living here right now is just, it's such a weird timeline, right? Just like Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast is potentially like the future of card game esports. Like, if I was a gambling man, I'd have gambled way wrong on that one. Bant Hero, build around if it's something you do. If not, 4-color flyers again. Any of those would be fine, right, Cat? We actually played a really sweet Bant Hero build that I wouldn't mind running back some more. Alright, give me some lands. Artifact died for a lot of reasons, which include the way it was monetized. There are a lot of reasons Artifact didn't make it, and the monetization model was one of them. Sweet. Alright, so I think I just jam history here and get negated, and then hopefully our Mortify. Ooh, I was not prepared for that to resolve. Was not prepared for that to resolve. Which, and as hashtag not sponsored, when I tell you Arena is great in a way I never thought digital Magic could be good, I really mean it. Like, I genuinely thought we couldn't do that much better than Moto with making Magic digital, and I was happy. I'm happy to be very, very wrong about that. I do use a standing desk. I split my time sitting and standing a little bit. Was hoping to hit a land there. We miss. I don't think I Mortify the search while they're tapped out there, because if I Mortify search and then they untap and stick Teferi, I'm an incredibly sad person. This is going to be Clarion plus Negate again. If they just pass the turn, I'm going to end step Mortify. Let's see if they have the Negate this time. They didn't a second ago. They drew it. That sucks. Hopefully we draw a land next turn so we can play Adanto plus hold up the thing. Alright, I think I'm obligated to Mortify the Search for its Cancer and hope they don't draw Teferi here. I guess have to hope they don't stick their Planeswalker. If I'd have hit a land this turn, we'd have been able to Mortify and then possibly Eldest Reborn Teferi the following turn. Please just pass the turn. Sweet. Land. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. So you're saying there's a chance. Have a good one, Willer. Thanks for dropping in today. Neil Drox, thanks for shipping your Prime this way again. I appreciate it. And Amori Katsu, thank you for the 10 months in a row. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I agree, Birch. I'm really excited for the first major artifact tournament from Wizards that's going to have a standard best of 3 format, or not a weird format. I'm hoping the Invitational does well, but I feel like because they're doing this kind of weird format for the Invitational that you can't actually play on Arena, it might have some trouble being successful. Like, a lot of people like to watch things. MTGA, yeah, that one. We're talking about different things. I mean MTGA. You got me. Figured it out. I think this is worth fighting over here. Speaking of standard artifact tournaments, isn't Valve supposed to still have $1 million tournament? Isn't that something they promised? Like that's something that was promised, right? $1 million. Listen, all I'm gonna say is if the money I had spent on artifact cards wasn't tax deductible, I'd be very upset, okay? Thankfully I get to take that 200 bucks and like write it off, so it's okay. Man, I can't believe we got Settle the Wreckage. What year is it? I think I just play another Seraph here. Wow, okay, deal. Okay. Yeah, if their $1 million tournament still happens, I'll try and qualify for it, 10 out of 10. Alright, do you have an absorb? Yes, you do. Might be dead here. We were real close, really close to pulling this out, considering how badly we stumbled early. They almost flooded enough for us to get there. Maybe if they have bricks from here, Teferi can like tuck this and we can steal by attacking with the Seraphs. So I think I'm just supposed to attack. Because, yeah, I think I just attack here again. Because I don't want them to have another absorb or a counter spell. If they have a second Settle the Wreckage, we're kind of just dead to rights, but I don't think I'm ever beating that. You know, I don't think I can ever beat this. Came really close this game. Hope you play against mono blue with all your Settle the Wreckages, opponent. Last hurrah. It's close. It's close. Like I said, I think this matchup is probably tough for us just because the control decks tend to prey on mid-range decks like this, but you know, made a game of it. Thief of Sanity forced 1-for-1 Settle earlier. Would 4-color skies be doing better right now? Yeah, possibly. Great. I mean, Krasis is a messed up card, right? Why did Jeskai go away? Because Mortify is really good, and Settle the Wreckage is bad. So part of the two-prong reason why Jeskai went away is because Mortify is good, and Settle's not good in the format. So Settle the Wreckage against Krasis decks ramps them up into their Krasis, and they just redraw their cards back. And against Mono Blue, they have 4 main deck Siren Storm Tamer that counter your Settle the Wreckages. So Settle got worse, and Mortify got better. And Mortify got printed and is very good. So, Kaya's Wrath is like fine. Honestly, I would probably argue that having access to Cry of the Canarium is a bigger deal than having access to Kaya's Wrath. Like Kaya's Wrath versus Cleansing Nova is like kind of marginal. Yeah, Mortify is just very, very powerful. Oh, please, for the love of God, be a Sultai deck. We have turn 2 Tocatli. Come on. Come on. Be a Sultai deck. Sultai. 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 Concede to the Honor Guard. Concede to the Honor Guard. Concede to the Honor Guard. Play a 2-1. Play a 2-1. Play a... Yes! Victory! We did it! We did it! Listen, I don't care if they have a removal spell. I still want on the inside if they have a removal spell, chat. What was the last SCG tournament I played in? I went to the SCG Invitational the end of last year. Woo! Ramp it up. Ramp it up. Do. Do 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 do. Whoop 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 whoop. Yeah, who needs? Listen, if you just enjoy the small emotional victories inside of games of Magic, you'll be much happier than otherwise. There's a lot of really small emotional wins you can get inside of games of Magic. Do I even mortify this thing? I think I don't, right? I think I just don't even mortify it because I don't care. Now I mortify it. Maybe they're going to sacrifice it to draw a card. That's incredibly rude.
Forgive this.
I'm looking forward to getting my DX Racer in the mail so that when people ask the question like, you play standing up, I can be like, of course I play standing up, except when I'm sitting in my wonderful sponsored chair. No. The stupid desk would go down. Things that are not sponsored. This desk, that's a piece of poop. Things that we need. Better standing desk. Are we dead yet? I think we're dead. Remember that time we were super excited they were playing Sultai and then they dumpstered us? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Is this the last deck? That's a good question. Should this be the last deck, chat, or should we play one more?
I didn't live through hell to lose to you. No one said restoration was painless.
No one said restoration was painless. I have a question that I assume no one in chat knows the answer to, but I'm going to ask anyways. Does my performance climbing the ladder impact where I enter Mythic at? Does anyone know the answer to that question? I wouldn't think it would, but I feel like I should ask. Schrodinger's cat says yes, though.
Not dead yet.
This is the part where we're in a good spot until they play land Crisis for 6 and just bury us. Alright, really need a big fat angel. Yeah, things that is not. A big fat angel. Alright, well, we found a use for the Mortify. No, there's no card advantage in this archetype. This archetype is pure card quality. More ticks. Thanks for the 613 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Pele, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me here. Crisis deck is just worse than the 4-color deck we played the other day. Because, like, the 4-color deck would have Hydrate Crisis to draw to at this point. Just, like, the fact that this is a mid-range deck that doesn't have a way to mitigate flooding is a big deal in this format. Like, all of the good decks in this format have a way to mitigate flooding, and this deck can't do that. I'd prefer they don't attack here. I would love if they didn't attack. If they didn't attack, I could untap and draw the angel that makes angel tokens and like hit them with Lyra and make angel tokens. I would greatly prefer they don't attack here. I think I'm forced to trade. Am I forced to trade? Oh, they might have attacked with the elves too. Attacking with the elves too is an interesting thought. I might double choke token chump. With the hostage taker, that doesn't seem like a good plan though. Oh, we have 2 copies of Teferi in our deck. Someone asked about card engines. I have 2 copies of Teferi. So Teferi would be a good pickup. That's almost exactly the same as Teferi. Very, very close. Thief of Sanity technically generates card advantage too, right? Draw Shade Whirler. So they're gonna pick Carnage Tyrant back up here. So I need to draw a live one this turn because Carnage Tyrant kills us the following turn. So looking for an angel here or a Teferi. I mean, like, that holds the elves. This holds the elves at bay, which means the Carnage Tyrant doesn't kill me. He kills me in 2 attacks instead of 1, which is nice. So it gives me extra draws. It's like something to impact the board here is good. Small red splash for Chain Whirler in our Esper deck. Alrighty then. My favorite comments to timeout are the ones where people recommend cards that are already in our deck. Please, for the love of God, if you're gonna make card suggestions, look at the deck list before you do so. Yes. They finally draw Crisis. They finally draw Crisis so we can stop pretending this game is close. Mods, frag the children. I'm setting the mods to kill. Mods, do your work. Do your job. Do your job. Do your job. All right, Crisis draw 3. I'd like the record to reflect that I timed out the person that said I would be a doo-doo head. Maybe they drew 4 lands in a row, chat. Maybe they didn't draw Find Finality. Maybe they didn't draw Find Finality. Did they really just draw all bricks? They totally have a Vraska's Contempt in their hand, don't they? Please contempt my token. Please contempt my token.
I won't hide from the world any longer. We need to move quickly.
Oh, if their hand is bad, we have a chance. Thanks, Reaper. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Deck's a lot of fun. I'm expecting to get Contempted here. If we don't get Contempted, we're in an absurd spot. If we do get Contempted, we're still kind of ahead. Mod pro tip, if you scroll up, the chat doesn't move so you can frag easier. That's like level 10 moderation suggestion right there. That reminds me of this clip from yesterday. If you didn't see this tweet, it's A+. This tweet is very, very good. What did you feed the mods? Good evening, wife. Oh, they just drew another Crisis. I got you. I got you. They just drew another Crisis. Hey, high speed run. Thanks for the 12-month resub. I really appreciate that.
Let's skip to the good part.
For keeping me around, I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, honestly, I think this deck might just be a worse 4-color Skies deck. Just like if you're gonna splash, go real deep. I'm not sure the blue cards help enough here. Tithe Taker seems pretty bad in this matchup. I want the counter spell. I want the Consecrate. I want the Ixalan's Bindings. Do I want some negates? Maybe I want some negates. Countering Vivian is, like, pretty reasonable. Let's try this. What happens during a timeout? During a timeout, you continue to watch the stream as normal. You just can't post in chat for 10 minutes. For those that are new here and you're wondering why people are asking for timeouts, it's to make fun of people who take Twitch way too seriously. There's a lot of people who get very upset when they get timed out in chat for 10 minutes because they broke one of my rules. Because we time out messages here that are just kind of off topic or not helpful, as opposed to just things that are blatantly offensive. And in most Twitch chats, only things that are blatantly offensive get timed out. The non-striped zebra, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate it. Plus, it makes, when you become a mod on the channel, it makes it interactive. FYI, you can load the VOD for the current stream, and it's kind of like DVR functionality. That's funny. That's true. It's a very good curve, Crimson. I think this is okay on the play. It's kind of slow, but at the same time, I don't know that, like, we really have the tools to be aggressive in this matchup as the last game showed. Something that I don't know that the rules explicitly state is that if you have a sub icon next to your name, you get a little bit more leeway to blather. Because the people who pay my bills get a little bit more A little bit more rope before they hang themselves. So Twitch lets us track timeouts on individual users up to 99 plus, but which is kind of disappointing we can't know past 99 plus, because I'm sure some of the numbers would be more than that. But I don't know total timeouts on a channel. It only shows up to 99 plus. I think it's right to just play Thief here. Thief is basically the, hey, do you have the answer? If you don't have the answer, you're going to lose the game. The Jund aggro deck felt like a worse version of the other Chain Whirler decks in the format. Would be my TLDR. I think I'm going to History this turn rather than Seraph, because History puts up a little bit more defense on the ground, and ideally I'd like to hit a 5th land and stick Teferi next turn. Under 5, those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those up, Danon. Perfect. Am I perfect? I mean stroke me, baby. No, I didn't actually mean stroke me. I mean consider it, but then don't actually do it. Ugh. Now they play Vivian, and we're incredibly sad. I think the green from the 4-color skies deck might be better. So I can't really attack in here unless I Mortify. They like left up 2 mana again though, so like do they have another negate here? Like not spending all my mana and getting my spell countered by a negate feels really bad here. They could have also had Disdainful Stroke though. I've got you, J-Man-Dog. Alright, well that makes me happy to see left on top. Alright, if they don't have... Yeah, the message deleted playmats and lots of other fantastic stuff are available on the merch page of my website. If their last card is bad, this Lyra is good. That was like just the worst straw, just because it makes their Duress live. They feel validated for leaving Duress in their deck and putting it on top. Welcome back, Ethan. Well, their hand actually isn't that good here. That's a good draw. They 10 out of 10 should have attacked with Wild Growth Walker there. So this is the part of the game where things are kind of close until my opponent slams Graces off the top. Or that also works. That also works.
The wild wasn't meant to be contained.
I don't know. I think in general this archetype just has too much trouble with Sultai. Maybe you could go deeper on the blue cards to fix it. Like both Thief of Sanity and Teferi are like reasonable against Sultai. I feel like maybe if you go deeper down the blue rabbit hole and like have Thought Erasure in your deck, but like if you're playing Thought Erasure at that point, like are History of Benalia and Resplendent Angel still castable? I feel like if I was going to work on a deck similar to this, we played a 4-color Flyers deck the other day that was actually really sweet and like Splash Hydroid Crisis and had Thief of Sanity going, so I think that's more reasonable. I don't remember the last time we updated it. If you're playing the version with the main deck Experimental Frenzies, that's still current. So I think I wasn't a huge fan of this. I feel like even with the blue cards, I didn't really solve my hard matchups well enough that I'd rather just be the more consistent black-white if I was going to play pure angels. And I think if I was going to mess the mana base up at all, I would probably go real deep and go 4 colors. All right, what are we doing? Are we doing Temur Ramps the next deck in the queue? This deck has Ravager Worm in it. All right, how could I ignore playing a Ravager Worm deck as the last deck of the day? Example of other mid-range decks in the format, the red-black mid-range deck has things like Treasure Map and the dragon in it to generate card advantage as you go late game with your mana, stuff like that. Esper control with Teferi.